Hello everyone and welcome to episode 15 of 6 out of 7 podcast. I am Liam.
I'm Calum.
Yeah, Calum's back.
Not Jake.
Oh, come on. Why you got to say it like that?
I think you need to explain, right? Because there's a continuity happening.
Yes.
That you know and you're experiencing that no one else is.
Last week I myself done an episode with Jake. It was a new setup.
Yeah.
So Calum was out the country.
I was away.
He's travelling. He's a man of the world. When I went back and listened to it, it was just the laptop sounded like it was taking off.
Yeah, he showed me it. It was bad.
It's unlistenable.
Yeah.
So
For the start was really good and funny. Like, guys, it's the best podcast we ever made. It's gone now. Never hear it. But it was really funny. But there was a small aeroplane taking off in the background.
So Wednesday. Why am I saying days? No one cares. We're recording with Curtis to do our Lord of the Rings episode, which I think you two will kind of lead. I'll be like, yeah, I like the films.
Yeah, Jake, I want you back. I really liked it.
Yeah, I think we'll do Jake.
Looking forward to doing Jake.
Not next week, but the week after.
It was really funny. It was really good.
He's a lovely man.
What do you want to talk about this week?
I want to talk about GOT because the last episode is out.
This is the Monday of.
Do you want to explain your beef?
No, I think we are different people with different feelings on spoilers. Liam doesn't mind knowing. He doesn't mind reading episodes. Mm-hmm. I mind intensely, and I think anything that we talk about is going to give it away because he knows it's in his brain, and it frustrates me that he does this. I shout at him in the car, I really berated you,
like a father.
I feel bad about it now on reflection.
No, it's okay.
I'm justified. You shouldn't do that.
So I'd need to watch it with Stephanie. I couldn't watch the episode and then rewatch it. I think that would be like. So I just looked it up because I knew it was going to be spoiled by some Unilad article or some shit.
Just internet blackout.
I can't do it. So I just read it. I read what happens. Take what you will. But obviously I thought Calum would have watched it.
No, I watched it with my flat as well. I have a routine, a ritual, and it's weird that you are going to sit there and Stephanie's going to have a completely different experience to you.
I'm going to pretend.
That's... Stephanie listens to this podcast.
Yeah.
I don't understand you, man.
I can't believe Bran gets a lightsaber at the end.
Stop it. This is not even funny. It's not even funny because all of that...
That's what happens.
You can infer so much from
yeah, I know. But, right, I'm not going to look at you.
Out.
What do you think will happen? Just give your...
I'm going to have to do it, address it to the wall. I'm going to talk to the wall because any signal that you give me will upset me.
This is just that, and then we'll move on.
I have one thing that I would like to happen. I don't know if it will happen. I want Drogon to try and kill Jon with fire, and then he turns out to be fireproof, and he kills the dragon. Right? You gotta correct your face now. You gotta bring your face to a kind of poker store, and that.
I can't because I'm gonna laugh.
You're laughing.
Right, I'll move on to the next topic.
This is stressing me out now.
I watched a film called Upgrade. Have you seen it? It's a Blumhouse film.
Oh yeah, I saw it trailered, but I didn't watch it.
It's like the film Venom should have been.
The film Venom should have been.
Yeah.
I'm bringing my heart rate down.
It's okay. You're drinking a coffee. I mean,
I'm stressed.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move.
Was it good?
Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it.
A guy, spoilers for Upgrade, becomes a paraplegic or quadriplegic. Is that when it's everything? I think that's when you can only move your head. And he basically gets this little chip in him that makes him he's almost a robot, but he's got the chip speaks to him. So he goes on, and his wife gets killed. Forgot to mention that
at the start.
Yeah, that's how it starts. So he kind of goes on
So it's like RoboCop.
That's what my mum said. My mum was like, it's quite like RoboCop.
Yeah.
It is a bit like RoboCop, but I got more of it's any sort of revenge.
Right.
It's a bit like The Crow. You seen The Crow?
I like The Crow.
It's a wee bit like that.
I like The Crow.
It's just went on Now TV, so it'll be easy to find, but it's 90 minutes.
Did you enjoy it?
It's okay.
Blumhouse makes some good
pretty
stuff.
Good.
Blumhouse,
I think.
They do good stuff.
I said it wrong at the start.
They do good stuff.
And I watched What We Do in the Shadows. Have you seen the film?
The Taika Waititi thing.
It's not a video.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Nodding.
I'm sorry. I'm still sort of trying to process the Game of Thrones thing.
We've moved on.
What We Do in the Shadows, is that not the Taika Waititi vampire?
Yeah, it's a film, but now they've made the TV series, which just came out over here. The first 2 episodes have just been released on BBC last night, and it's pretty solid.
It's the same cast.
It's Matt Berry, the guy that done Phone Jacker.
Oh.
A girl that's done kind of she's like a stand-up comedian, I think, and it's the guy that's Nate in The Office. If anyone listens to The Office,
never watches it.
I was getting confused there. Watches The Office. It's Nate from that, and he's fucking hilarious in it.
And they're London based.
No, they're in Staten Island.
Oh.
But he's Nate in it is what's called an energy vampire. It's like someone that just he's not a vampire, but it's someone that speaks to you and it's just really boring.
Your energy.
Yeah, it's got the girl from Booksmart.
Oh.
See the girl that was in Ladybird?
She's got a really weird name, like Beanie Feldstein.
She's just been turned into a vampire.
That's cool.
But it's got like...
She's Jonah Hill's sister.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. This is something I only knew or found out about recently.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Good on her.
For coming out of that vagina.
That is a rich family.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Funny family.
But they've got like interesting guests coming up. So it's directed by Taika Waititi. Or Waititi, however you say his name, and Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, cool.
Like every episode, I think. But the guests coming up are Tilda Swinton, Dave Bautista.
Wow, as a vampire? Or...
Yeah, and Wesley Snipes, obviously,
awesome.
with that Blade thing. So I've got to stick with it. Hopefully it's like 6 episodes.
And it's just on iPlayer or...
Yeah, like, it was on last night, so I don't know. It was 2 episodes, so I don't know if they're going to go back down to 1 episode a week or whatever. But yeah.
I'm curious. Tilda Swinton's in that new Jim Jarmusch thing as well. The zombie thing. The Dead Don't Die.
Dead Don't Die.
Or something like that. Looks good.
What do you think of that?
I wonder what you make of Tilda Swinton because she's doing a Scottish accent. I was sort of broadly won over by it.
I should watch that trailer.
Yeah, she's like using it's really good. It's a really good. I sent you that trailer,
and I was like,
you mean to tell me you didn't watch it?
I ignored it.
You ignored it.
No, I was probably editing a
Iggy
podcast.
Pop's a zombie in it. It's really good.
Iggy Pop's a hack.
He's a musician. He's not an actor.
What is it? He went to invent is it the headbang or the crowd surf or...
Did he do that?
The pogo. It's some, like, no, a gig you pogo.
Yeah. I've regularly pogo. Let's go on to the next bit.
John Wick
3.
Parabellum.
Chapter 3.
Did you like that, the subtitles that come up when some people say certain things?
Yeah, I love that. That's a good tip.
I thought that was alright. Does that happen in all ones?
Yeah.
Alright, okay.
Like, it's like, sometimes it's just like regular, and then sometimes they do it in like blue writing or red writing.
Yeah.
It's like I think it's really designed for like the international audience. So much of that film is like no talking.
I think that's something to discuss.
Sorry.
No, like I totally agree, but did you enjoy the film?
Loved it. I watched it with my mate who hadn't seen any of them, and people behind us were clapping, and we had a great moment. We had such a good time. It was such a stupid funny film.
What were they clapping at?
They clapped notably at the first kill when there's he's fighting Andre the Giant or whatever that guy is.
Oh yeah,
and he puts the book through his neck, through his face,
and then
cracks him.
Spoilers, by the way, for John Wick.
Spoilers for John Wick.
It's not that much to spoil.
Lots of people die, and that's the first sort of big kill, and it is awesome. People clapped, and the horse when he kept killing people with horses, that was funny.
I didn't like that.
No,
because they're in a stable and it's real horses, and they must have been distressed.
Probably, yeah. Did you enjoy it?
Yes, overall, yeah. I had some issues with it, but for an action film, for John Wick 3, it was great. And Keanu Reeves in it is he looks quite beefy in some scenes.
Beefy?
But he's no, he doesn't look muscly. There's a bit he takes off his shirt.
Yeah.
And he's just like a normal guy.
Yeah.
But he must be fit.
Yeah.
He must be like a fit person.
I think it worked because at the end when he's fighting those 2 lieutenants, one of them's in the raid.
Oh,
he's Mad Dog in the raid.
He's the crazy hair guy.
Yeah, and he takes out off his belt, and he's he looks slower than them, and it fits the narrative of the film because they're obviously professional martial artists, and Keanu Reeves is just Keanu Reeves, but he's been fighting for 36 hours at that point, longer. So it makes sense when he's slower than those two. That's the only point that I saw him kind of flagging. For the rest of it, he was sort of pretty good. So it leads on directly from 2. Yeah, it's seconds after.
Yeah, he's in the taxi cab, and then it's basically just everyone's after him. It's a little... I found that the pacing at some points, where they go location wise, was a wee bit off putting, because it's kind of the bit he goes into the desert.
Yes.
He just kind of ends up there, and then he comes back, and you're a little bit he goes to see the elder. So he can grant
give him his ring finger and then
but it felt just a little bit what's happening here.
I was hoping for more of that, the one above the table. I wanted a bit more. It's the lore and the world that you inhabit is really interesting, but you're it flitted to the desert, then flitted back to New York, and that was, I don't know, I wanted a bit more time.
The dialogue's laughable a lot of the time.
I think international audience again.
I think that I was surprised that the director was American. Just because
I thought English wasn't his first language.
It's so it's a bit like The Meg, where it's it's definitely it's filmed for an international audience. It's very, very basic. There is probably 20-minute scenes where no one talks.
I love that. I think that's really cool.
So it is really good. The action in it is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Really, really.
Like when he's like skewering guys with those knives from the antique weapon shop, it's like that. It's like a 12-minute sequence with no talking whatsoever, and it's all like in his face, in his actions. It's fantastic.
The dogs in it as well are
like the dogs.
Incredible.
I thought you were a cat guy.
Yeah, but these dogs are like, it's not even, there's a cat in it. When they go to the Chinese restaurant, there's a cat lying out. It's very cute. But the dogs are like incredible. There's a scene, where are they? Is it No, it's Casablanca, because it says welcome to Casablanca. Halle Berry's got these 2 German Shepherds. So there's this big long shootout scene. She's being strangled up against like a wall, but she kind of tilts over and she gives the dog a command. It runs on her back, runs up a wall and bites a guy. And I was honestly like,
bravo.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, I think it is a clappable sequence.
What was it, that part? They clapped at?
People clapped, they were clapping like a lot. They were pretty drunk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was fun.
Were they loud?
Yeah, but it was all part of that. Like, this is such a mad spectacle. Like, obviously these guys are gonna love it. Like, so much genital goring. Like, those dogs were like trained for the nuts.
I wonder what they put in there. Is it like bacon?
They put bacon in their trousers.
No, like to get the dog to bite it. Or do you think they're just trained to bite it?
I think they were probably just like combat dogs, like professional combat dogs.
I loved their wee armour.
Yeah, the bulletproof armour, that was a bit ridiculous. But
Bronn from Game of Thrones.
Jerome Flynn.
Shoots one of the dogs, and I was honestly like, oh, like, what are you doing?
At that point, like, dozens of humans had been killed.
Yeah.
As soon as you get the dog, that's...
Do you not think he wastes a bit too many bullets, though?
Who?
John Wick. Because he shoots people in the head, like, sometimes, like, 3 times.
Yeah, double tap.
It's a bit...
Triple tap.
Is that what they call it? Oh, God.
Yeah, it's a thing.
So lame.
Am I lame? Thanks for that. You're right. I think there was a good bit in John Wick 2. John Wick 2 is the weakest of the 3, I'm going to say.
Yeah, okay.
There's a bit where he gets a gun with 7 rounds, and you see him use those rounds in like an effective way, but for the rest of it, it's just like, oh yeah, he's got unlimited ammunition. Yeah, it's just silly. Like, we're just going to enable him to do this sort of sequence don't think about him reloading. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, it's like watching a video game.
Yeah,
but like the villains in it, if you will. I mean, it's hard to tell who's actually bad in it because they're all horrific people. But I don't want to say Chinese, but I don't actually know the Asian. The guy he fights at the end,
right? Who's like a big fan of his,
and the guy from the Raid.
Yeah, Mad Dog. I don't know his name.
Are they?
They're Indonesian. I thought that's an Indonesian film,
right?
The Raid, but like he's like, yeah, that's bad of us that we don't.
Yeah, I know.
South Asian.
It's ignorant.
It's ignorant.
We are ignorant.
We could have looked it up. You've got so many notes, but none of it pertains to race.
He fights 2 guys that I thought were twins for a bit.
They look very similar,
and that is incredible.
Yeah, in the glass room.
Yeah, that's the one Calum's talking about, where he takes off his belt.
Yeah, he's sluggish and slower, but like at that point he's been stabbed multiple times. He's been thrown off a building. He's been through the desert. Like, he's done an awful lot.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that he's a little bit, and they kind of like let him up. Like, he is a hero. Like, he's a well-known character.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like, oh, we thought John Wick would be faster. All this stuff.
But he's still John Wick.
Pushed them through the floor. He crashed land on them. He kept getting thrown through those like glass.
So annoying.
Yeah.
See, he keeps getting kicked.
Yeah.
He gets kicked like 8 times in a row, and you're just like, oh, just
get up, John. Get up.
Lock it. The only negatives I really have to say about the film are Lawrence Fishburne, who's like, I don't know what's happening.
He was a good bit part in 2.
He's like, well, Daddy-o. It's just like, why are you talking like this?
Like, when you kill the king, when you cut the king, you better make sure you cut him. All those lines, like, completely.
All of his lines are pretty terrible.
He's going to be a big one in chapter 4.
Well, so at the end, John Wick, basically the hotel is under, like, they're all coming to kill.
They deconsecrate it, which is so cool. Such a cool bit of language.
Exactly. Who is it? The table?
Yeah, she's an adjudicator for the high table, which for some reason is important.
They're coming to kill the owner and John Wick and whoever's left, and he kills everyone, obviously, and then she's like, okay, like, let's parley, because
I've got no one left.
Yeah, you've won. And then I feel like I know the owner's name. What's the owner's name?
Ian McShane.
Yeah.
But I don't know his Winston, I think his name is Winston.
Yes.
Thank you.
You are right. And he just like shoots John Wick.
Yeah.
And he falls off a roof.
His suit becomes bulletproof again. Like, it's weird that a knife can go through it.
Yes.
But it's bulletproof. I thought that was like, I forgot that those suits could do that.
That was a thing.
Yeah. That was really like, I think there's definitely a cut or a way of writing that story that Winston just shoots him and he dies, and that's the end of the trilogy.
Oh, that'd be horrible though.
No, I'd have preferred that. How would you wanted it to end?
Well, this is the fact. Like, I felt like they had quite a clear ending with all the shootout in the hotel, and then they were like, "We need a sequel."
Yeah.
So where are we going to go from here.
He's going to go after the high table.
There's a podcast I listen to where it's like they do their awards at the end of the year, and it's the award for the game is on, where it's like it's the film that nods so heavily to a sequel, and I think this should win it. It's a really good film.
The Mummy's another one that we were talking about, like the Tom Cruise one. That's such like a we're going to do.
Get ready for the universe. Yeah.
I agree. I think it was good when he gave him the finger. Like, what happened to your hand? You're missing a hand. Then he gives him the finger. Like Baba Yaga, he's back.
Yes, indeed.
Will you watch the fourth one?
Yes, 100%.
Like we can moan and go, oh, this is annoying, but
they're just fun to watch. They're like incredible to watch.
What are they going to do next? What is he going to kill someone with next?
He's going to be what are they called? Like the Bowery people?
I don't know. They're like homeless men, aren't they?
Yeah, basically. So I think he'll be like with them, just like killing folk. I will go and see it. It's made a ton of money as well. So
I mean, I think there just is probably that is its appeal is it's global. Like everyone likes watching not everyone, but a lot of people like watching Keanu Reeves ride a horse down Manhattan.
Yeah,
like, it's cool.
He's so likable.
He's good. He is good.
Seems like a nice person.
Was he on
Graham Norton? He was on Graham Norton. Yes, yeah. He was very nice.
I'm glad. Should we move on?
I don't know what else to say.
Watch it, guys. I 100% recommend it. Like, there's not a lot out right now, and I think that is something worth watching.
I saw it
in a bit of a lull.
Yeah, I saw it on a big screen, and it's definitely worth seeing it in the biggest one you can. Did you see it on a big screen?
Yeah.
It's definitely, I'd say, adds something to it. Some films you're just like, eh.
It's such a spectacle, and I enjoyed the fact that we were as a community. There was like maybe about a dozen of us in there, and the row behind us were just like loving it and like lapping it up. And I was like, yeah, this is. I'm with you. I'm behind you. I wouldn't clap myself, but
you can't like cross that bridge.
I just don't. I don't agree with it personally.
I don't think I've ever clapped.
Well, one day.
Ever?
Not ever once in your
life.
Done it. You done it. You do it at the start of every episode.
Hey, come on. That's how the sausage is made.
Right. It's gross.
Well, we do Wild Rose slightly. It's going to be a short episode.
You need to go running.
I got a 5k to do.
Yeah, it's important. We just saw Wild Rose.
Yeah, literally just like
it's just happened
half an hour ago. Maybe not. Maybe a bit more now.
That's the time.
Did you like it? Overall thoughts?
I really liked it. I like films that are set in places that I know. Like I liked it when she was in the Lauriston. I was like, I've been there.
You said.
I would turn to you, and I thought like Liam will go, oh yeah, the Lauriston, but he doesn't drink, so.
I didn't know where they were.
Yeah, it's a silly point.
I had no idea. I thought they were going to be, what's that one in Ibrox, the Star Bar or something?
What?
There's like a famous, I think it is the Star Bar.
Really?
Fuck you. I'm
good for you. There are a lot of bars around here. Ooh, giving away where I live. Grand Ole Opry. That's cool. I want to go. Have you ever been?
No, but I was happy to finally see inside it. Yeah. I thought there was horses. I was so sure there was horses inside it.
All the time? Just living in a bar?
Like a stable, yeah. I thought it was like, there was like proper like...
They have guns and they do like shootouts and stuff.
Yeah, but like horses riding about as well.
It's not that big. That's unlikely.
I don't mean horses roaming about, but I thought they done shows with them.
How long have you held that opinion? Until this film? Like until
always,
you saw this morning?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
That's cool.
Always.
We should go. We should totally go. That'd be fun. It was very much about, it tried at the end to sort of finagle, like, this is a film about Glasgow and like being proud of where you're from. And that, like, I felt that was a bit like aspiring to something a bit like more universal than it needed to.
Yeah.
I kind of like it when it's like specific and it's about her story and her and her kids. And it ended up being about Glasgow as a whole.
I didn't like her very much.
She wasn't very likeable.
I mean, I get that, like, she's at the start, she's in jail, and
her worst enemy is herself.
Yeah, like, she's just always dumping her kids on whoever she can to try and like chase her own dream. But it wasn't like at the end when she was obviously like, no, Glasgow's fine, like, I'm happy to do like Celtic Connections, spoilers for whatever.
She makes it.
Literally what happens.
She learns the guitar.
She kind of makes it. I think that's the thing.
I think if you're playing Celtic Connections, you're doing pretty well.
Have
you ever done that?
But no.
You've never played Celtic Connections?
No. But I didn't feel like, I wasn't like happy for her that she'd
why not?
somewhat made it. Because I didn't like her very much. I thought that she didn't really learn much.
She didn't come to a point.
What her big dream is she wants to go to Nashville and like just make a career from there.
Be discovered kind of thing.
Which she does go, and she just realises it's so oversaturated that she'd never even get noticed, and she's happy just to go and kind of be a musician in Glasgow, which is like a good message, but I didn't like her story.
Yeah. How long was it?
Just under 2 hours, like an hour 45.
I kind of drifted, like when that little kid broke his arm, I was sort of like, oh, where are we going?
Yeah, it's very like, oh, these kids are such a nuisance. Like, if they didn't, obviously it's not, it's going the other way with that. It's like she should stop this dream and just look after our kids because our kids are like screaming out for attention.
Yeah.
But it made it seem like, like it's so annoying that this kid's broke his arm and she needs to stay with him and she can't go and play this party where there's like people there to like basically fundraise for her.
Yeah.
The character of, she becomes a cleaner, but as soon as she gets out of jail she needs a job, so she becomes a cleaner. The woman she works for I thought was like the strangest character in the world.
Yeah, it was a bit like we're going to talk about wealth disparity a bit, and like she just like can't roll a joint, and it's sort of like, what?
Right, well there's that, like when she's first introduced it's like they kind of get on, but there's an awkward sort of, I just felt like there was so much you could do with that character because there's so many scenes where she's quite foul-mouthed and she like swears a lot. And you feel like
Rose days.
Yeah, you feel like what's her actual name? Anne, is it something Bell?
Jessie Buckley. Oh, she's called Rose Lynn.
Rose Lynn, yeah.
We almost didn't know that.
Yeah, that's
we
ridiculous.
saw this film this morning. We're horrible, man. We're not good.
They don't say it that often though.
They do. They're like she's at this party and it's like Rose Lynn.
Oh, so it actually says it.
Yeah, it's like in big letters. We're really bad.
You think like she's going to say like, can you stop you think she's going to be like kind of stuffy, like oh, can you maybe watch your language around the kids? But then like, so there's this scene where she's like, oh, I've got you an interview with some country DJ that
radio,
and she's like fucking yes, and you're like, and she's kind of looking at her awkwardly like smiling, and you think, oh, she's going to say can you watch your language, but then it cuts to the scene in the next room and she swears, so it's like, what is,
I thought they're rubbing off on each other kind of thing, like they're supposed to become friends. I get that what you're saying.
It goes from literally one scene where she's like, I need £5,000 so I can go to Nashville and
give me that money,
and then she's like, oh, I couldn't do that, and then the next scene she's like, I'm pulling all these strings and doing all these
I want to help you out.
I've paid for your first class trip to London, and here's some spending money, which a first class trip to London, how much would that be on the train?
It's expensive.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So it's like our character was a bit all over the place, and then she was like, oh, I'm having my 50th birthday, but I don't want to throw a party, I'm going to throw you a concert in my back. It's so weird.
Yeah, I think people with money are a bit confusing. Like I agree. I found that I didn't understand what she wanted or why she wanted it. It was because I suppose her kids liked her singing. There was a good bit, right, where she's like got the headphones on. She's like stolen booze from this woman, and she's like getting drunk, and she's like singing about doing the hoovering, but they put the band like in the room. I thought it was a really good shot. They had like a weird fishbowl shot above the living room, which I thought was really interesting. And then the kids walk in while she's like belting out a song, and then they kind of fall into country music, and then the mum falls into country music, and that's sort of that's the avenue. Like, oh, this daily woman, like what a word. Is that
means like a clean, like,
I suppose, yeah, but like she does her ironing and like
she kind of does like
all things. She's the maid, and you're supposed to, she's like 3/4 in the truth. She's like honest and grassroots and winning, and now I want to help you out by crowdfunding. But that's not the path she takes in the end. She doesn't do that. That's not like her route to success is different from that.
I think she goes to Nashville and I think it's more the DJ speaking to her when she's like, he basically says, do you write your own songs, do you play an instrument? And she's like, nah, to both. From that, like, it cuts at the end, it says 1 year later and she's performing her own song. I didn't like the songs at all. It's not like, as much as I didn't like Inside Llewyn Davis the first time, I loved the music.
Yeah, you've got the CD now.
Yeah, I went back to it and I really enjoyed it, and the music like adds more to it the more you enjoy the film. But I'd like A Star Is Born, I was like in The Greatest Showman, I'm like, this music is fucking incredible. I didn't like any of it.
Are you a fan of country sort of generally?
And like I like Hank Williams, and like I like some Johnny Cash and stuff like that, but I just never...
I like that Lee Anderson number they did at the beginning when she goes back into the Grand Ole Opry, like Rose Garden. I enjoyed that, but I suppose it's all kind of, it doesn't feature as heavily as I would like. I think she's a singer, but she only sings maybe like 6 times in the film. Whereas like Star Is Born, there's like 30 songs or something.
Yeah, it worked good. Should have been 50.
Should have been more. I think it's a song about music, or a film that claims to be about this. There should be a bit like, I should do a Johnny Cash number maybe. She should do some some more stuff. But it's also about aspiration and going for your dreams. And like Julie Walters is like, we haven't talked about her yet. She's really
good. She's great.
She's fantastic in everything she does. But that was a really good. I bought it all the way.
She's the gran, and she's kind of like, just do something, just go to college. And she's like, at one point she's like, do anything, just like,
don't let your kids down, stop letting your kids down.
Yeah, like she's like the pure doting gran, but she's great in it. I'd say she's the best in the film.
Yeah, I feel like what we could have done without is that boyfriend, the guy who's always wearing black. He was so boring.
This guy is like, she gets out of jail, and she immediately goes to see him, and they like have sex at the side of the motorway. He's quite rough, and I didn't know if she was meant to be throwing heroin. That's what she goes to jail for throwing heroin over a jail wall.
She makes a mistake.
I was like, oh, was that for the boyfriend? But then later you find out it was for other. So it was just a bit confusing, and I think there should have been more of like a sense of like him trying to take her astray, and her at the end being like, I don't want fuck off. Like
it was so strange when like that bit where the kid breaks his arm or whatever, like he's walking on, oh hey, like I haven't found you, and he's immediately got a bottle of beer, like magics a bottle of beer out of his sleeve, like, and a bottle opener. It was like, oh, I am the path to darkness.
Do you think that's what that scene was meant to show?
I mean, if she had gone in the house,
he would, because he felt like I think she says he's swinging on the wardrobe and obviously like breaks his arm. But I didn't really get what that character was meant to be, because like it just kind of cuts to him every now and then, just like drinking in a pub, and you're like, what? And
like spills that beer, and it's sort of that's kind of funny, but also like I don't know. But he wasn't given enough time, and I felt like we could have, your worst enemy is yourself. That would have been a better thing. She just like fell away and like got distracted or didn't stick with stuff on her own.
I love that they went to Nashville. Yeah, like they actually went to it and like filmed there. I thought that was really good, and she ends up in the Grand Ole Opry, I guess, the like original one. She sings a wee song, but I think overall it's like it's a wee bit cringy. It's one of those Scottish films that I'm like a wee bit like. She's like always constantly like people are like, how are you? And she's like, I'm brand new, and I'm just a wee bit like. Ugh.
But she is. Oh, she's Irish, is she? Jessie Buckley. I don't know, like.
Well, I don't know anything else she's in.
I think this is like a breakout.
Right. Okay.
Could be wrong. I've been known to be wrong. It's happened before. I thought she was Dakota Johnson for a really long time. I'll say that. I saw the poster and I was like, oh look, Dakota Johnson's in a new film. Didn't inspect it close enough. So I could 100% be wrong there. But it was a convincing accent for me.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. I think it was more the script. I had an issue with that. Just this is how Glaswegian people
there was
speak.
A bit of a bit where in Nashville where she's on the stage and the guy goes, I haven't got a clue what you just said.
Yeah.
And it was like there's that pause for laughter, and at our cinema was just like,
I mean, there was like 6 people in it,
but it's like I think we're over that, right? Like I think Scottish people are quite easy to understand, and people that say, oh, I don't get it, like I need subtitles, it's like you're not trying, mate.
Sometimes you do need subtitles. Sometimes I was like, I have no clue what you were
in
saying.
That film?
Yeah, legit. Like
really?
There's a part where she just gets out of jail and she's kind of having like a wee heart to heart with her mum, just stand outside her house, and I was like, what are you saying?
Right.
And like it's just a wee bit like, it's a wee bit cringy when she's leaving, the other female prisoners like, you're going to be the next Dolly Parton hen, and I'm just like drone and the original music to a shot of whiskey and 2 iron brews.
We were walking out and the end credits were, and there was a line and you went, Jesus Christ, like really loudly. It was so funny. It was really funny.
It was embarrassing.
2 shots of whiskey and an iron brew. What? That doesn't sound like it tastes very nice at all.
That would be awful.
That'd be really gross.
But the worst, I think one of the worst Scottish accents, apart from like one people putting on a Scottish accent, is in The Force Awakens when it's Han Solo.
Not the Kanja Club, the other one.
The other one, but that I'll never
Han
forget.
Solo. How do you do it?
What is it he says?
You're such an impressionist. Han Solo, like we've been looking for you, or like you've been.
Oh, I cannot remember what he says.
He says Han Solo.
Yeah, but then I can't. Oh, but yeah,
we'll have to look it up.
YouTube that, because that is a disgrace.
Limmy has a really good thing to say about that in his like 12 things. 12
things that are wrong.
Force Awakens. Like I love him.
It's like Chewbacca didn't age. Number 9. Like he just. It's funny.
Like Leia having an American accent when she had a British accent, English accent at the start. I was like, yeah, you're absolutely right. Why is she like become American?
We could do a whole episode on Limmy. It's fantastic.
Limmy, come on the show.
But yeah, I think I'd be surprised if Wild Rose will be in cinemas much longer.
If you want to watch it.
It's both films I'd say this week are like strong recommendation.
I turned to you and said John Wick or Wild Rose, and I think you said John Wick.
Yeah, I'd rather watch John Wick again. This was a bit of because John Wick was quite long. It's 2 hours 10 minutes, and apart from like the pacing with the locations that I had an issue with, it flies by.
Yeah, I'd agree. With that. But again, Wild Rose isn't perhaps not tailored towards Liam and Calum. That's also something I concede.
It's an old lady film.
It's an old lady film.
Is that okay to say?
It's just not for us. Not exactly for us. But I took some stuff from it. I quite liked it. There were bits of it I liked. I liked it more than I didn't like it.
Definitely. I'd give it a thumbs up.
You're going to give it a 6 out of 7 rating?
No, that's like a perfect film, isn't it? That's like Empire Strikes Back. Usually when I leave these films, but I'm like, there's a song that I'm like, want to listen to, and I can't say there really is one from that.
Yeah, I think you're right. You're probably right there. It was some original songs, like there's like on the poster they talk about,
it's like
Born
Angel
to Run,
Calum.
yeah,
or some shit.
But I think you'll be surprised. You'll surprise yourself, and you'll come back to it later on. I think the prison thing is interesting. I watched Michael Inside. And
yes.
She seemed like she had quite a cozy prison environment.
That was a lovely wee room she had.
Yeah. I was happy.
She had her CDs.
CDs.
She was in for 12 months and she had about 100 CDs.
Yeah.
So that looked like a lovely little prison.
Which is different from Michael Inside, which was bloody brutal.
Michael Inside's brutal.
Watch it though. I recommend it. Like I think it's done. It's very well researched.
Mm-hmm.
I would say. Like I really liked it.
Michael Inside.
Yeah. Really well researched. It seems. They talk about at the top of it. They talk about it's done with like Pathways Institution or some institution for like that rehabilitation when you get back, and really really good. I like the way that it was the start was very clinical. Should we talk about Wild Rose maybe? But,
yeah. Well, I'm rewatching Peep Show again. Like I never really stop not watching Peep Show.
Great.
But,
Norton.
There's a scene where Jez. There's the episode. It's called Jurying. I don't know if you know it, but no. Jez is on a jury. I can't really say that word. Jury.
A jury.
And he's kind of starts dating the person he's meant to be.
Yeah, I remember
convicting.
That. I do remember.
And he's talking about female prisons, and he says female prisons is probably just like one long hen night.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the.
No, I don't think Peep Show should be the source of your knowledge on that.
Yeah.
No.
I fucking love
probably
Peep
watch
Show.
Orange is the New Black. That's probably
is that
maybe a bit more honest. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I should. It's one of those ones I feel like I should see.
Okay, we're starting to drift.
We are.
So I think that'll do it. So yeah, short episodes.
We got any other housekeeping? Any other things?
Oh yeah, we want to say to.
What do you want to say?
Well, we've been complimented on the show.
Have we?
Yeah.
When?
You were told you're the personality of the show.
By who?
I told you this.
Remind
I don't want
me.
any names.
I just want an ego boost. I'm flattered.
I'll tell you off air, but yeah, you've been.
I'm the good one.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm the good one.
The review, not review, but the conversation I had was.
Bloody write it down and put it on the internet.
Someone thought we would be like in tuxedos, like discussing high art, but
we just sit in our pants, guys. Just
I'm not in. I would never.
You're a liar.
Far too self-conscious.
We sit in our pants.
No, but yeah, thank you. Oh, and someone as well said that Braveheart is not enjoyable because.
Yeah, I concede it. I concede that it is wrong, but I like it.
It's too factually inaccurate.
It's very inaccurate.
It's still fun. You're crazy.
I love it. It's so that bit where he's on a horse and he smacks that guy in the face in the house and then leaps into the water.
Yeah.
Love it.
That all happened.
Yeah.
There's video footage of that actually happening.
It's a great film. Fight me.
Jesus.
I would.
The person that said that would beat the shit out of you as well.
Well, fight me in text form. Like, if you have feelings about the show, tell Liam all well and good. But I don't know what Liam hears. So if you put it on the internet,
I usually tell you. I phone you every day and give you a run through.
Do you?
Every conversation I've ever had.
I don't know if you're speaking to me. You might have a wrong number.
So, that'll do for this week. We are going to have lovely Curtis on, Curtis the actor. We're going to do that episode. So this will be out like as soon as, because this is from yesterday. And then we'll have that Lord of the Rings episode out on Sunday. And then we'll have Jake the Painter back for next week's episode.
Yeah, Jake.
And then we're going to do our favourite albums. In a couple of weeks. So, thank you as always for listening. What's our Twitter? What's happening on the Twitter?
Our Twitter is at 6out. I'll tweet. I'm trying to get into Twitter, right? I was telling you about Twitter.
But not today.
I was telling you about Kids Write Jokes. I was like, they've done a really good tweet, and Liam's got his head in his hands again.
I hate it.
Kids Write Jokes.
It's
Go
actually annoyed me.
Follow it. I would promote them much more than I promote us. I think it's so good.
Anyway,
what do you call?
Cody just
he's so angry now. He's going red. He's going red. You know, I also liked. No, let's not.
What were you going to say?
I'm not off air.
Okay.
Off air. I get that this is a drift. Like, we're trying to, what are you trying to aim for? 40 minutes?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You always say the time and then I always edit it and it's always way out. Alright? Just stop it. Okay, right. Thank you very much as always for listening.
Sorry.
Be on YouTube. It's on Spotify. All our episodes are available there. If you have literally anything to say on the show,
for the love of God.
Yeah, you can come on the show.
Like, it's as easy as that. It's as simple as that. If you care.
So yeah, thank you very much, and we will see you next week for Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Thank you.
Bye.